Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's showtime. I'm back on PoE again, trying desperately to love the game. Not always doing a great job of loving the game. I have created a new character, another Minion Mancer. First one was irretrievably broken in that it could not be rescued because there weren't enough respec points and I didn't have enough money. Why? Oh, why they're doing it this way, I have no freaking clue.
Right. Hold them back while I open the gate.
I'll hold them back while you open the gates.
She made light work of that.
Hey, Warp.
Advance with me. There are 2 more gates we must open.
Well, I'm trying again. Back on the Minion Mancer. The first one I made basically is not fixable because I don't have the money to respec. Which is frustrating.
Their formation is broken. Attack!
I'm actually following a build guide this time, so theoretically I won't brick my build again. And sadly, there comes a point where you get a certain gem in the game. And if you really want to build minions, there's kind of one right way to do it, and by default, you're not informed that that exists. Staggering, they won't give at least reset after the changes. It's not staggering, sadly. It's pretty much par for the course. A number of people have, I think, very correctly described that a number of the design decisions in the game are adversarial, and that's the right word to use. It really is the right word. But for me, at least as bad as that is the fact that the right build, if you're going minions, at least what we have access to so far, essentially requires a particular gem that is not one of the ones that is suggested for you and doesn't even show up by default in the list of gems you can use. Technically, it's a fire spell, so it comes in under the sorcerer batch because they've broken things up to make things a little easier for new players, something I approve of. But if there is a clearly correct choice, that should be in the list too. So, I mean, I'm murdering stuff at a much faster pace, much safer pace than I was previously, simply because I didn't realize that Summon Raging Spirits was available. Because there were not many spirit gems, and only a couple to choose from. This one looks good, so I chose that. Because at the time I reached that point, I didn't realize that, in fact, not only are there a lot of other gems, which I was aware of, but the suggested ones aren't necessarily even good. Checkpoint. Oh, he's fire resistant. Lovely. Doesn't like a couple of impaled corpses around. So my build currently is Bone Storm, which is basically a channeled to power up and then unleash spell, which does a lot of damage in a straight line. Unearth, which is useful for dealing with batches of mobs because it does an AE, and whenever it kills anything or just hits a corpse, summons an additional minion for not too terribly long. Pain Offering, which impales one of our minions to buff the rest. Flame Wall, which is a nice little AE, but not big on itself. But what it does is, if I cast a fire spell, any fire spell, so I'm using this one, it summons 5 Raging Spirits. And so if I cast it twice, I have 10 Raging Spirits, and they last for... they're gone. Not terribly long, but they don't need to last terribly long. They hit really hard. So that's kind of the build right now, and not knowing that
I will feast on your
SRS, Summon Raging Spirits, is even in the game.
If we can allow the caravan through all 3 gates, my
It is a
warriors will
standard
form the bundle.
Of minion builds. Give these demons no quarter. All right, I will give these demons no quarter. And then also I have 3, I don't want to call it permanent because they can die, and then for 8 seconds it takes them that long to return. I have 3 skeletal arsonists, and let's face it, if you're going to have skeletons, you might as well have ones that are arsonists.
I will unmake you.
I have died plenty. I've died more actually in this character than I did on my first go through because I was playing more carefully on my first go through. And every time I die, I swear, as is tradition. Because there's no shortage of bullshit mechanics in this game.
We shall not rest.
In my not so humble opinion. I believe that was a level. More points along the minion wheel. So my first character, before I knew it was essentially bricked, had gotten to the Trial of Ascension and failed it twice, which was incredibly frustrating. And then ran into a boss in this map, which felt like I had no chance to beat at all. It was just annihilated quickly. You'll see what happens when I get there with this build, which is slightly different, but way stronger. And I have put off doing the Trial of Ascension for now, so I get at least one more level. Then we'll try it. I knew the Trial of Ascension was going to be a catastrophically bad decision. And I saw that it was using Sanctum League. Good evening, Jukebox. How are you doing? The problem with Sanctum League is it was a sort of a combination platter of PoE and let's say Hades, a roguelike. Now, there's no problem with turning that into a league mechanic, even if it was a league mechanic I didn't like. Because to really be successful at it, you kind of had to build it. A lot of builds were really not good at it. So, it has no place in being the first, almost mandatory Trial of Ascension. It's a terrible choice, and it was one of my two big worries about the game. Was Sanctum for Ascension, which I was right about. That's gonna pop open? Maybe not. And the other was bosses that block progression. And that one also came true. And both of them came true within about an hour's time for me on my first build. Yeah, I have some issues with the game as it currently stands. And this is the second boss. The second worry was a boss that is a blocker. You'll note, I'm about to charge in. You can see it in the lower right. One of my lasting complaints about the game is not just that the bosses are very difficult, which they are, and you can't death march them, which you can't. I think both of those are defensible design paradigms. But the bosses are often, I won't say always, often in very, very small constricted spaces, making the fights incredibly more frustrating than just having to deal with their mechanics.
Noxious.
How is this possible?
You are unworthy.
I'm unworthy.
Americans will fall. By my hand, I shall dethrone you, Sekima, and leave you to the sand.
Okay.
Wrath of a king. I shall dethrone you, Sekima. I tried to seek peace, and the Sekimas disgraced me.
No idea what's happening here.
Rot in the sand. And this time, we
Mobs?
choose
Way too many
war.
mobs.
You receive the death you deserve. And I shall give you
We shall finish this. But not today.
make haste.
Evidently I beat him this time. No idea. I was just trying to
German
not
Ra, the
die
fourth king,
a dozen
is
times.
running away.
And apparently he didn't die. He ran off, and so we got no loot. That's a design choice.
Quickly! He conjures the very sands against us! This
Turn
is
to the
no
caravan.
natural
Well, if I can
sandstorm.
find it, I
We
will.
must battle sorcery with sorcery. Let us return to the caravan and entreat Zarka's wisdom.
Okay. Use the desert map to return to the caravan and speak to Zarka. I guess probably the best way to do that is to just teleport. I know, it was rude of him to just up and leave like that while I was kicking his ass and desperately trying not to die.
The Countess has used corruption to resurrect Jamin-Ra.
Cool voice. I would like to
They
have his
escaped
voice
with the
do
beast.
my answering
We
machine.
must reach Deshar as soon.
Have any items for him to identify? We have 5 items for him to identify. Increased recovery rate and increased charges. I like the one that actually gains charges per second. That can matter for long fights. That's a no. Alright, we're going to deconstruct that. Okay, we're going to salvage this one because it gives us blacksmith's whetstone. We're going to deconstruct, disenchant.
Jamin-Ra can there is some. We would have.
That's a tier 7 skill gem. I need that one. Nice. We're going to disenchant the rare item, as that will give us a regal shard. And we'll sell the blue item, because right now money is more important than transmutation charges. those are so cheap. I'll just disenchant those. So now we put all of our currency back into our box of delicious currency. We have a tier 7. I think we need flammability from that one. You'll note, flammability, it's not on here. It's over here. Means by default, you don't find flammability. You now have flammability. That is a curse that we can throw on people we don't like. And make them go, ow! Exactly like that. Did we have something we wanted to bump up to 6 as well? Probably. These are, no, SRS is a spirit gem. Eventually, I know we want a storm maid, but that's a long way off. We'll increase bone storm, I think. Yeah. Quick check, as I need to double check what is. All right. We're still in Act 2. Flammability. Right. That's the only change we're looking at right now. And let's see. Next up is speak to Asala to learn about Orbala's footsteps. She's over here. She's Asala.
Ah, yes.
Pardon me, I'm skipping through the. What? Holy crap! That's a lot of quests. Well, I can try. The trial of Sekima. It's up there, right? You have to get there from the map. I could try the trial of the Sekimas. This will lead to me swearing copiously. Because unlike the rest of the game, where you have life and you have energy shield, in here you have honor. And anytime you take a hit, you lose honor. And you can't get that back except inside, using inside mechanics in the Sanctum League mechanic. And when you're out, you die, and that's it. And I have, I think, a total of 2 trials. 2 tries. So if I try, I will go back to just running more of the content, hoping to get my power level up. We also want flammability. There we are. I would also like flammability there. Trial of the Sekimas. About which all I can say is Sekimas.
Traditions are meaningless drivel. But let's see what
Now this
power
is
offered
important
here.
because it gives you your first ascension. First 2 ascendancy points. Exactly. Suck my ass. Exactly correct. The trials of the suck my ass.
I will serve.
Hi, Balbala. That's right. Suck my ass and Balbala.
We have met in battle. As Jin.
I will choose this as my reward. Increased quantity of relics, increased honor restored. No, honor restored participants. Because I'm undoubtedly going to lose it. And it's filled with traps and extremely fast mobs that run up and whack you before you can do anything. And other mobs that pop out from underneath the ground and hit you before you can do anything. It's pretty awesome like that. that's right. I do have... So, I have either this, boss is taking... No, the... Increase honor restored is the best we can do, so we'll confirm.
Let's get this over with.
The test of strength. So this plays like a roguelite. But sadly, it's not a fair one.
I have to
because
admit,
the buffs you get
I'm somewhat
are
enjoying
really
all
minor,
this.
and the debuffs you get can be entirely crippling. I have 658 total honor, which is equal to my life and my shield. This is going to probably be slow. Traps, everyone. Traps. Alright, that door gets opened later. We have yet to lose any honor so far. There's rotating flame up here. Everyone loves rotating flame. Oh, and 4 traps as well. That door is closed as well. More mobs popping out of the floor. Always great for laughs. I lost 8 honor. That opens this door back up. Oh, good. A bunch of my pets are stuck out fighting things out in the fire and dying. I am down 120 honor. When this league mechanic was live, I fucking hated it. I hate it even more now. And there's a mob popping up from underneath me. I love that, of course. I have completed the first trial. Well, so that's the Ascension then? No. I get 115 of my honor back. That's good. It'll cost me 5 water of life, of which I have 13, so. I'm now 17 down. Do I get the Ascension now? Nope, I have to go through 7 more trials to get to the boss. Awards a bronze key, afflicts you with low rivers, so I get half the sacred water. The keys are only useful if you get to the end and beat the boss. Awards a shrine to restore honor, inflicts you with chains of binding. Monsters inflict binding chains on hit, so I get hit and I'm slowed. Perfect. Oh, 25% movement speed. How about no and no? That holds a sacred water fountain. Oh my god. So, if I go in this one, I have my choices of going here or here. This one gives me 50% less honor restored. You see, the buffs are tiny. And the disadvantages are just crippling. I think that one. It is just the worst conceivable. If they had told me, pick the worst possible league mechanic for trial, I would have said this one. Or possibly, Trial of the Ancients, Tournament of the Ancients, whichever it was. Which I understand, from the rumor has it, is the third Trial of the Century. So. Okay, in this one, there are all these little altars that are summoning mobs, and you have to kill both of the mobs on either side.
Pathetic creation.
Good riddance.
Okay, that was an incredibly short trial. If they're all that short, I might even succeed. Spoiler, they won't all be that short. We have a bronze key. Trial map, I think we have only one choice to go. This has... Oh. Yeah, monsters remove 5% of your life, mana, and energy shield on hit. Great, thanks. Oh, we're on this one right now. All right. Come on, I know you're going to wake up. It didn't wake up. I had no objection to Sanctum when it was a league mechanic, except that I had no intention to play it, and I didn't play it. I hated it. But not every league mechanic has to be loved by every player. The great thing about league mechanics is if it's a league mechanic you don't like, you don't have to play it. Except you do here. And this is a whole bunch of mobs are going to come at once. Try not to die. Good. Nice and rare. Those are awesome. Love to have those.
Death is my power to be.
Swift magnificence.
Alright, we got that taken care of. We are down 34. Right now, we're doing pretty well. But then my build is way, way better than it used to be. We're only going to get half the sacred water we were supposed to get, because we got that as a debuff coming.
An oasis in the desert.
Alright, our choices is that one, which we definitely don't want. Silver key. We don't really want the key. We just don't want to deal with having 5% of our life, mana, and energy shield removed every single time we get hit. So, Chalice Trial. Chalice from the Palace has the brew that is true. That's an old guy movie reference. Danny Kaye, the Court Jester. Oh, defeat all rare monsters in the area to fill the chalice. This one kind of depends on how many rare monsters there are. If there's only one or two, this one's not bad. It looks like there's two.
Splinters of bone!
Oh, no, it's not. Those those are just regular ones. That's a rare. First time I've seen a war pick. That's the other one. Alright, that trial wasn't bad at all.
All part of my plan.
Yes, yes, it's all part of my plan. To hopefully actually get my ascendancy this time. It's a complicated plan. A lot of planning went into my plan. If I was going to recommend anything, I would recommend planning out your plans in advance. That way you'll have better planning. Silver key. All right, what do we have? Contains a merchant. That's another hourglass trial. Escape trial. Awards a shrine to restore honor. Right now, my honor's not in bad shape. I'm not going to have a lot of stuff to spend on the merchant. But I feel better about the hourglass trial, because the escape trial is the one I think you can flat out fail it and die, as I did last time. I went the wrong way. And because there's no movement skills, I couldn't get back. So far, I've been pretty fortunate in the trials I have received. That's one of the problems this has, is that it is a crapshoot. You can get bad affixes and you can just miss.
Splinters of bone.
Poisoned. Poisoned again.
Swift, magnificent.
We are at 546, so we lost about 120 there. About 100, I guess. And merchant usually has at least one thing that will return some honor to
Let's
you. Let's see if I
plan.
can afford it. I can't. I have 129 because I'm only getting half of the honor I should be getting because of that previous debuff. This will probably be the only merchant. Literally nothing I can buy, right? Yeah, nothing.
May that serve you.
All right, so we've got awards a shrine to restore honor, but it afflicts you with a shattered shield, so you have no energy shield. You know, you can get 3. You can have no evasion, no energy shield, or no armor. I have no evasion shield, I have no armor, and it picks the one I do have. Thanks. That's what I mean about you can get affixes that screw you. Black smoke. You can see 1 fewer room ahead. Well, I don't care. I'm only going to be seeing 1 more room after this. Ritual trial. Gauntlet trial. I don't know enough about the trials. But that one won't matter because I'm only going to be seeing 1 room ahead anyway. After that is the boss.
Now! None can oppose me.
The ritual
Trial
has
is
been
complete.
disrupted.
A gift from fate.
bronze key. None of us give a crap about the keys. Someone had a really good suggestion, which was that if you reach the boss, you have gotten your ascension. If you kill the boss, you get the loot. Well, I have 3 choices. I can go there, which awards a pledge, which can be accepted to change the trial's parameters. I have no idea. It is an hourglass trial, which is not a particularly difficult one. This one is also an hourglass tile. It awards me the sacred water fountain, but it gives me spiked exit on entry, where I take 19 damage on room completion. That's not bad, because I'm only going through one more door. That one is Orion's Shrine that grants you a boon and restores honor. I think I have to try that one for more honor and a boon. I will name my boon Daniel. That's an old guy joke. Although I don't like the gauntlet trials. Fire. We've got spiky bits. Let the fire go by. We got more spiky bits over here. Oh, there's chests over here. That's the only thing that's over here, the chests. So we came over here for no reason. That's awesome. Love that. By the fire. I'm at 499. Alright, so the fire took off a bunch that I needn't have taken, but... Sadly, I did, because I didn't realize that whole side over there was... Must be down here that the switch is. No, no. Did I miss the switch over on the other side where I first went? Because I didn't see a switch. Looks like maybe I did. Isn't that great? I didn't see the switch. I still don't see a switch. Oh, down there. There's the lever. Isn't that great? Oh, shit. All of my fucking pets are on the other side of the door. Fuck this game. Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. Oh, that was not good. poisoned. We're at 431. Yep. No. We're currently 365, which is a good number for the number of days in a year. It's not so great. For this. 115 honor. That'll get us up to 480. And a random boon. The boon is Ornate Dagger. You and your minions deal 50% more damage. That's actually a really good one. And that just leaves us with the boss. I'm in better condition than I expected. With the extra 50%? Maybe.
The foe ahead is formidable. Steel yourself.
A formidable rock challenges me.
Stand clear. Slam.
Watch out, he's dropping stuff from the ceiling as well.
Look out for the slam.
Splinters of bone.
Beware of what falls.
Holy shit, I actually succeeded at the trial of the ascendants.
I knew you would succeed.
That's nice. She knew I would succeed. She didn't say anything.
How useful.
Alright. The Ascendancy. We
Power
want
awaits
Infernalist.
As expected.
Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. That one? Loyal Hellhound. Yep, we want to ascend.
They burned many a sister.
And we want Loyal Hellhound. Grants it skill Summon Infernal Hound. 20% of damage from hits is taken from your Hellhound's life before you.
Sister. They tried to burn me. I think now I shall pay it forward.
My Loyal Hellhound is not up yet. Listed in as a gem. It is Infernal Hound. Woo! Right click that. I now have an Infernal Hound. What shall I name him? Let's see. Convert your leftover sacred water to keys. I don't know if I got any additional keys for that. Greg is not a bad name. Jukebox. I kind of like that. My dog is now named Greg. Yeah, I do like that.
It is done.
No longer a jig.
You
I am
are
no longer.
a jingak.
I am no longer a
You
jingak.
now carry with you the spirit of a... I am fine. Should you need...
Purchase items. Can't purchase any of those. I just spent all my water for additional keys. What do we have? I don't know how many keys I have. I know I have at least one silver. Mage's Cache, Warrior's Cache, Hoarder's Cache, or Helmet Cache. Interesting. My current helmet has got minions. I don't want to lose that. Hoarder, I think, is probably money. Not a warrior, so I guess I go with Mage. A focus. Well, we'll get rid of that then. Oh, it's bigger than I thought. I will express my opinion now on Inventory Tetris. It is an extreme and unnecessary fuck you to your player base. Thank you. There was the yellow. Voted meh. Yeah, Diablo 2, I know. It's like Holy Writ to the Clown Shoe Brigade. Alright, we had... I don't think we had any gold, but we'll go with the mysterious. No, we didn't have a gold key. Shield, small relic, warriors, or rangers. Well, we could theoretically... Oh, bronze shield. Nope, none of the shields are useful or usable. And the relic? Seal relic. So we have 3 of those, and that, which will all go into the relic basket. Oh, a bunch of them will go into the relic basket. Where the hell's the relic basket? So we can drop this shit off. We don't have a relic basket in here. No, that was our only silver. We did have another bronze, but nothing in there really worthwhile. The Dyad crossbow. Loads an additional bolt. That does seem pretty good, I have to say. No, there does not appear to be a relic chamber in here. Place for us to drop off the relics. That's perfect. Unless it's in the stash, it's not. Back to the Trial of the Sekimas. That may take us to the front. It did, alright. So we will identify the relics we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reduce slowing potency of debuffs on you. Increase maximum honor. Increased quantity of keys dropped. Increased honor restored. Honor resistance, which reduces the damage your honor takes. Gain 32 sacred water at the start of the trial. 6% increased maximum life. Fountains have a 6% chance to grant double sacred water. Alright, that's all of that crap taken care of. And more importantly, I've got Greg, my hellhound, now. We love you, Greg. I'll travel back to town. It's always nice to be online because it means I'm not dead yet, but thank you. Sorry, when you're an old guy, sometimes your humor gets a bit dark.
What have you learned?
I was asked when I thought Riot's MMO would launch, and I said my over and under was me in the ground. 7 items identified. Let's see if any of them are any good. Well, that will be good for a Regal Shard. 2 Regal Shards. 3 Regal Shards. 4 Regal Shards. Okay, that one's a keeper. And I think that gives us 2 more Regal Shards, so that's not especially good. So, we go to Zarka.
What?
Might even be you in the ground. Well, it's true for all of us. All of us might be in the ground. Let's hope to avoid that in our immediate future. Regal Shard. Regal Shard. Regal Shard. Regal Shard. Only 1? I thought that would be good for 2 Regal Shards. Maybe one of those is a hybrid? No. I guess it's only 6 prop ones that are good for 2 Regal Shards.
I will tell your tale.
She's going to tell people how goddamned awesome I was. Won't be true, but it's a nice thought. Now, let's see. So that has all spell skills and increased energy shield, which is local. So that's that. This has more energy shield, increased fire damage. Yeah, this is just way better in every single way imaginable. And we'll see. I mean, this is not great. 91 energy shield, a little bit of int. The life regen's nice. All this has is int. The exact same. The odds are I'm not going to be happy with the outcome here. And that's a real big no. Thorns. My understanding is a couple people have tried to build Thorns builds.
What?
They're fucking terrible, which is pretty much what I would expect. We will instead sell it because 141 gold is worth more to me than a 10th of a transmutation. But we have succeeded in finishing off at least the goddamn Sanctum run for our Trial of Ascension. Yay! There was much rejoicing. Actually, some serious rejoicing. That's where we are right now. That's the Traitor's Passage, which we've been through. We killed Jamanra, the Risen King, at the Halani Gates. Or actually, we drove him off. Because he's just kind of a chicken shit, you know? Looks like... Where can we go? We have to go. We have to be at the map. For some reason, they've added as the necessity for you to be in the desert map to move around in the desert. Alright, there is a Theft of Ivory. Use the desert map to travel to the Mastodon Badlands. Or we can go to the Trial of... No, we've done that, thank you. We can go to the City of the Seven Waters. We can go to the Valley of the Titans. I thought there were 4 things we could go to. Maybe we have to do all 3 of the other things. Looks like, yeah, we have to do all 3 of these to finish up the Trail of Corruption. So we're going to do a Theft of Ivory first, I think. We're going to head to the Mastodon Badlands. And we're there. If that seems like magic, well, you know, it's magic. All right. All right, Greg. Greg and the boys.
Place of ritual.
We got
in Bern.
Mo, Larry, and
I should retire
Shemp.
here someday.
I was always a Shemp guy. I don't know. Do people even know who the Three Stooges are anymore?
A ritual. ritual. Raised from bone. I like these lost men. Now!
Ooh, a ritual. Apparently I like rituals, because I then immediately murdered them all. Alright, desert leaping spiders. Sure, why not? Wrinkly, Gary, and Bo. No, we already have a Gary. I'm not going to confuse Gary the dog by also having Gary the skeletal arsonist. That's another level. So, I have decided I am not a fan of the desert jumping spiders. Lazuli ring, mana. Might turn into something good if you throw a couple of stuff at it. Couple of stuff. Couple of crafty bits. Got another ritual. They're all doing rituals out here that they're not very effective. Murdering. These are the Lost Men roots. Well, now we know what happened to the Lost Boys. They grew up as the Lost Men. Oh, we want the Hexer's Robe. That's got 2 sockets. Even if the stats on it turn out to be crap, it's got 2 sockets. I hit a level. I should probably spend my ascendancy point. For anyone who's never seen PoE or PoE2 before, this is the passive tree. Every time you get a level, you get a point. You also get points throughout the rest of the game for various things. You get a total, I think, if you hit a level of 100 or like 120 or something like that. I'm like level 24, 25. You start in one of the 6 locations around the outside of this ring, so the travel distance isn't too terribly far. But, you know, any given type of node is more likely to appear in some places than others, but it's not quite as intimidating as it looks. For instance, that is spell damage and minion damage, spell damage and minion damage, same thing there. More of the same there. This is spell and minion damage, minion damage, minion damage, spell and minion damage, stats, dex, strength, intelligence. That's some energy shield regeneration, more stats, and then these are all buffs to minions. So you can see that basically all I've spent is stats and buffs to spells and minions. Same as PoE, where each direction represents a different archetype. Sort of, yeah. Yeah, it's got the same thing where right now this is intelligence. The sort of, we'll call it the 12 o'clock. Well, let's say 2. The 2 o'clock is intelligence and dex combo. The 4 o'clock is dex primary, dex and strength, strengthen it. So, you know, if the class is more likely to have, you know, weapon attacks and spells, it would probably be here. If it's more likely to have bow attacks, it's going to be down here. There are only 6 of the classes currently in the game, and each of the game only has 2 of the 3 ascendancies it will have. In general, everything in PoE2 is turned down. If the average node and item and everything in PoE1 is a 5 out of 10, you know, average on the dial, most of the stuff in PoE2 is set at 1, except the monsters, which are set at 4. I am not a huge fan of PoE2. There was a game mode in PoE they brought out like 2 years ago called Ruthless. And what it really was playerless. Players mostly didn't like it. Some love it. Kriparian, for instance, the well-known streamer and game OG, really, really enjoys that mode. Most of the PoE player base doesn't. And this is not PoE. This isn't PoE2. This is Ruthless. And that's essentially what Krip had to say in his video a couple of days ago. This isn't really PoE2 as in a sequel to PoE. It's PoE Ruthless with a graphics upgrade and some mechanical changes. Sadly, I agree with that. Now in his case, because he loves Ruthless, that's kind of a compliment. It's not a compliment in my case. Because, I mean, you could say they're making a sequel to an incredibly successful game. And that's sort of technical. But what they're really doing is making a sequel to an unsuccessful game mode from a very, very successful game. And I'm not sure that that is the best and most logical business decision they've made. There, was hoping they'd go the other way with the sequel. Yeah. It's funny. One of my biggest complaints about Diablo 4 was things like the nightmare dungeons. They weren't fun. They were tedious. Oh, how the hell happened? At what point did my camera go walkies? Tedious. I give you tedious. Monetarily, their game is predicated on having every 3 months, having a new league, new challenge league come out, and a lot of the players who love the game come back every time. And a lot of them who buy one of the supporter packs, another $30. But it's predicated on them having to run through the campaign to get to the end game, which is what most people like. For years, the players, and I'm not one of them in this particular point, have wanted a way to skip the campaign. A way to shorten it, I can sort of buy, but skip it? Well, now they've made the campaign, which is part of the game that most veteran players are not really big fans of. They've made it slower, longer, less fun. I'm just not sure that that is going to end up being a sustainable business in the long term. I mean, they've done some things here that are, I think, undeniably correct. They have simplified the process of explaining support gems and stuff like that and getting access to them. But the gems, I had thought that the new gem solution was a real improvement, but Krip, also talked about specifically one of the real problems you can have that I hadn't considered. Which is, if you get into a situation like I was on my first character, where you reach a boss you can't beat. His mechanics are too punishing, maybe you don't have enough life or other defenses, or he one-shots all your minions, and so you need a way to keep the minions alive. The standard response is, okay, you're going to have to go out and, grind maps and stuff, grind through repeating the same maps over and over, looking for more loot. The loot is generally not very impactful. Leveling up, again, the levels mostly get you points on a passive tree that are generally not very impactful. Historically, in PoE 1, what you're also doing out there is you're trying to level up your skill gems, because those are always impactful. But you can't level up your skill gems here by grinding. Skill gems can only be raised by getting drops of higher tier skill gems. And you can only get those from higher tier content. Which means if you're stuck on a boss, you are fucking stuck on a boss. And I hadn't considered that, and Crip's right. Completely changed my opinion about the gem game part of it, which I thought was vastly improved. Now I changed my mind. Thank you, Crip. It's the Bone Pits, everyone. The Bone Pits.
Pit graves and necromancers. This place just gets better and better.
Lots of bones. I can see why they call it the Bone Pits. There are a lot of bones.
Splinters of bone.
I'm not sure I'm supposed to get in there. Over this way, okay. Okay, I don't have a mostly full inventory of stuff. I thought I did. Oh, he drops great big freaking fireballs on people's heads. Gotta say, not a fan of him doing it to me. I would be a fan if I were dropping big fireballs on him. Generally speaking, I don't like having balls on my head. I would say it was a hard and fast rule, but I don't think I want to use those words. Hopefully they're able to work out the kinks throughout the early access. It's interesting. Of course, that is ideally what we want. But a lot of the complaints are foundational and fundamental things. And Steel Mage talked about this. You know, that if you don't like the dodge mechanic, and you're really hoping that they're going to do something about it, Flame Dash ain't coming through that door. That's not coming in. They have built this to have no movement skills or almost no movement skills outside of dodge. They've balanced the entire game around it. Why on earth would you think they're going to change that? I presume we have some sort of boss in here who wants to consume our face for basic nutritional needs. You know, so while no doubt a lot of changes, a lot of tuning is coming, I kind of agree with Steel that people who are hoping that, you know, deep fundamental changes are coming, it's not. It's still going to be ruthless. Get the Sun Clan relic. That's a question item. Is that all I need? I have to find a use for the relic. Well, butt plug doesn't count. First of all, it's balls on my head. Now it's butt plugs. This conversation, this stream is not necessarily improving. So, I mean, that's why I have the thing that I want to love the game. I honest to God do. I want to love PoE2, but I don't think I'm going to. I had concerns beforehand that it wasn't going to be a game for me. So far, it's not. But I'm keeping at it. No. 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 No, I don't want to just give it a cursory try and say, nah, this game sucks. Certain parts of it I think suck. You say is the best ARPG out right now? I think you can make a good case for a couple of different things. It depends on what you're looking for. Quite specifically, that may not be, you know, an answer that anyone wants. They want an answer. But for a lot of people, they just want, you know, easy, low impact, me smash things good. In which case, it's probably Diablo 4. But Diablo 4 is also the least interesting. Requires and offers the least in the way of like build craft. You know, being able to design a build yourself and come up with something cool. PoE has the depth. But PoE also is... he's big. Oh, he siphons mana and deals lightning damage. How nice. But he doesn't seem to do enough of that if I'm blowing his ass up. But PoE, and one of the things they've tried to fix about PoE with PoE2 is almost unapproachably obscure. It is, I'll say this about PoE2, it is no longer actively hostile to the player. PoE1 is absolutely hostile to the players. New players, it is absolutely hostile to the new players. PoE2 is not actively hostile to new players. They're trying to make it better, more approachable for the new players, and I think that's a good start. That's something they're doing well. You had our groups are trying to get into PoE1, and you just couldn't. If you really want to try, what you have to do is you have to find, first of all, a build guide. Realistically, you can't do it without a build guide. And I would also suggest there are some specific builds and build guide makers who have gone out of their way to be welcoming to welcoming to new players. I can't remember the one. There was a guy who used to do ARC builds that was great. You might want to look at Zizaran stuff. Over time, Zizaran has done a lot of videos on various things. And a lot of my learning came through using his build guides. But PoE1 is, as I said, it's actively hostile to the player, to the new player. And by actively hostile, a few years ago, as an example, oh, this looks... The flies are a particularly nice touch here. They had one of the challenge leagues. They increased the difficulty for the first couple of acts of the game. They were planning on increasing difficulty throughout the whole game. Does that sound like PoE2? But the player base didn't like it. So they didn't implement the rest. But they left it harder at the start. In other words, the part of the game the old players like the least, and the part of the game the new players always run away from. They made it harder. Why would you do that? Why? Oh, he was big. Now he's not. Presumably there's a boss over here waiting for me. Good evening. Do I think Last Epoch is a good middle ground between PoE and Diablo? What it doesn't have is it doesn't have a great end game right now. But for leveling and for especially for build craft. In PoE, you have ludicrous options. Most of them are terrible. Last Epoch, you have lots of options, but even a player who doesn't really understand can probably make a decent build. I think Last Epoch is, in complexity, I would say Diablo 4, Last Epoch, PoE. Last Epoch is far more approachable than PoE and far deeper than Diablo. It has been rough for me. They made more than $30 million, so I don't think they would consider it rough. But we'll have to see how many people are going to be sticking around. Because if $30 million is all they're going to get out of it, then that's not a good bargain. LA has a good middle ground between having freedom and being accessible. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I bought into Last Epoch basically when Zizaran started playing it. He was talking about how the Last Epoch guys had said, would you like to play our game on stream? And his response was, I'm going to have to say what I think about it. And their response was something along the lines of, oh yeah, burn us to the ground. We need to know. Seriously? And so, yeah, he scorched them, talked about the things he liked, the things that really weren't good. And guess what? They listened. So they have been very, very approachable. They've done, I think, a really good job. The only place where they're falling down is they need more endgame content, simply because people expect it. Not that Diablo 4 has endgame content. Yeah, it doesn't have the late game it needs, at least not yet. Hopefully, knock on wood, hopefully that's coming. Well, this is a really not fun map, I have to say. This is what this map looks like. A lot of dead ends and stuff, including over here, we had a checkpoint, but that was just a dead end too. This would be on the long list of what are they thinking in PoE2s. What are they thinking? With all of these enormous maps and no travel skills. Now, I will also note, in a really unexpected turn of events, that Torchlight Infinite is a very entertaining, fun ARPG, and it's one that actually has an end game, and they bring them out about every 3 months, and they're better than anything Diablo has brought out yet in terms of a league. We got another checkpoint. Do we have a boss in here? You don't know. It's, I think we're gonna have a big black rib pit. Yeah, we're gonna have a. We're gonna have a.
Splinters of bone.
Oh, this is the one with two bosses, right? I don't remember if they have to die at the same time or not. Don't stand in the big, red, glowy, flaming circle, Lens. I really wish the life things for the mobs were somewhere else.
I suppose I am
problem.
better, Necromancer.
Not exactly a full meal to keep you warm in the winter. Yeah, I mean, for me, I find every time there's a new equivalent of a challenge league for
These should come in handy.
Torchlight Infinite, I want to play it. The league mechanics vary from okay to quite good. And all of their league mechanics have been better than anything Diablo has had as a league mechanic. The second league mechanic in Diablo was okay. That was the vampire one. And I think the fourth one, which wasn't really a content patch, but it fixed a lot of the problems the game had. I had a friend who asked, have they fixed it? And my response was, they've solved it, but not fixed it. They've figured out how to make things better, but things aren't right yet. For instance, rare items. After a certain level, rare items are worthless in D4. And that part of the loot has got to be refigured. Let's see. Can't use, wouldn't use, conceivably could use. Find a use for the relic. I never found a use for the freaking relic. Where's the damn... That's the Mastodon tusks. Where's the relic? Sun Clan relic. It's a quest item. I have no idea what it's used for. Is it used in this area? I have no idea. Why? They don't tell me. Why? Because, as Mathel put it, literally, verbatim, the way I have put it, he was asked, why is something in the game the way it is? And his response was, well, evidently, because fuck you, that's why. There's an awful lot of because fuck you, that's why in PoE2. Ancient Vows. Oh, I'm going to need probably 3 relics to get through the Trail of Corruption, so it's probably one for those. A perfect example. In PoE, you go back to town, like I'm going back to town right now, and it automatically refills your potion flasks. If you want to refill your potion flasks, you have to come over here and click on the well. And if you forget it, because fuck you, that's why. When asked about it, one of the devs said, because it's fun. It's not fun. Clicking on the well isn't fun. All it is, the only thing it is other than a stroke for the ego of the developer who came up with the idea, the only thing it gives to the player ever is frustration if he forgets. That's it. That's why what people have been describing as, what was it? Not antagonistic design, but basically, a lot of the design seems to be where the developers have an intent that is contrary to what the players want or enjoy. You know, it's funny, people make comparisons between D2 and Flask Refill and PoE2. Well, but in D2, you could stock up mana flasks and not run out. In PoE2, you can't. Yeah.
These tasks are truly worthy of Robar's
Diablo 2 had a lot of mechanics that are incredibly influential on all of the ARPGs. David Brevik did a brilliant job. But that doesn't mean that all of the design decisions they made are good ones that need to be replicated. A little friction is one thing, but an actual cock block is an entirely different thing. I will take the uncut support gem. Since my choices are an uncut support gem or not. Stocking up with all kinds of mana and healing potions and constantly chugging them in D2 is not something that's to be emulated. That is a bad mechanic. It's not fun, it's not involving, all it is frustrating. And PoE tried to get rid of it by adding the flasks that refill over time. And here they've made things more difficult because my understanding, I could be wrong about this, is your flasks don't refill just by killing monsters. Not white monsters. They refill if you kill blue, yellow, or unique mobs, and it may not even be blue, it may only be yellow. But I think it's blue, yellow, and unique. So it's hard to keep it up, especially if you're in a boss fight where the boss may have a few waves of ads, but not a bunch. We've got a bunch of items that we need. The hooded one Spoiler! I won't tell you.
What have you learned? Move swiftly.
I'll move swiftly. Thank you, I think. Alright, let's see. We've got that, which needs to be salvaged for socket materials. No, it's not future me, although that's a terrific guess. Solid. That's surprisingly solid. It's not that at all, but you could definitely see that in a lot of games. Alright, that has a lot of life. And evasion and a little bit of energy shield. Well, let's see what else it has, shall we? We are going to give it another affix, and if it's a good one, we're going to wear it. Even if it's not a good one, we're going to think about wearing it. Leech. Physical attack damage as life. The leech is nice. It's a keeper of an item. Not for this build, but some other build. 340 life, 260. Hey, 340 is, if I've got my math right, bigger than 260. Correct me if I'm wrong. More recovery if used while low on life. That one also get an Orby Warby. Increased charges gained. I kind of like this one. Gains 0.15 charges, so basically a charge every 6 seconds, but I think that one is big enough. Because sometimes size matters. Exalted Orb. Gotta love an Exalted Orb. These are 269 manas. They're bigger. Mana recovered. We don't want that one. Charges gained and increased recovery. Right. All right. And you'll note you can't see them underneath my head, but both of my flasks are now empty. It would have been real easy for me to forget, go into the next area, start killing things, get whacked, get dead. Well, my God, that was fun. Clicking that well was so much fun, guys. I can't tell you how big of a great big fat line that was. Pretty big. 22 mana. No, or currently we have, well, we'll drop this in here for later. Well, okay, that's no good. That's no good. Flask charges, lightning resist. That also has lightning resist, and it has life regen. You go in here too. And this is... That's really unimpressive amounts of stats on that. 2 prefixes. That's got to be a hybrid prefix then. Yeah, that's a hybrid prefix. You can tell because it's a blue item. Blue items only have 2 affixes. This has 1 prefix and 1 suffix. So that prefix must be a hybrid. A little bit of both things. Stun threshold, that's got int, and it's got life regen. Yeah, so these 3 will get sold.
Speak up.
Now, I will share another one of my pet peeves with you. This is a pet peeve from PoE1 that they have kept. This right here. A quest item. Why are quest items going into an already tiny, teeny tiny little inventory that you have to play inventory Tetris in all the time? Why? Say it with me. Because fuck you, that's why. It's another one of those antagonistic design decisions. Let's see, uncut skill gem. Oh no, I haven't played Act 3. This is the farthest I've gotten. I just got my ascendancy like 45 minutes ago. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It is a utterly unnecessary act of extended middle finger from the deads. It gives nothing good to... It adds nothing good to the game. Let's see, I don't think... the pain offering, maybe... Is there anything else here at level 6? No. How about over here? We could bump the flame wall up. That would be okay. Let me double check real fast. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, we've got flammability. I forgot to use that. I've been forgetting to use that. Let me check my supports and see what my supports should be now. Unearth and minion instability. Flammability with spell cascade and heightened curse. Spell cascade? Really? Oh, I get that is a bigger area. Yeah, I don't think I have access to that yet. Do we have... Are we putting anything into the dog? Raging Spirits has Fire Infusion and Martial Tempo. I think that's what I have. Yeah. Fire Infusion and Martial Tempo. Doesn't look like they're putting anything... Oh, there it is. Okay. Elemental Army and Meat Shield. Oh, I have got Meat Shield already. Meat Shield and Elemental Army. Meat Shield and Elemental Army. Already got Meat Shield. We'll grab Elemental Army. Did I not pick up the... Did it automatically go onto the doggy? Yeah, it did. All right. Elemental Army and Meat Shield. Let's see. So, starting at the top, Infernal Hound, the doggy. That's that. Flammability, heightened curse. Let's check what else. The arsonists are Conk Effect and Scatter Shot. Flame Wall is Tempo and Fortress. Fortress and Arcane Tempo. Martial Tempo and Fire Infusion on the Raging Spirits. Pain Offering, Persistence, and Magnified Effect. So... Heightened Curse, I would think, probably. 7. Well, we can raise one of the others up to 7. You could raise Flame Wall up to 7, but I don't think... Flame Wall's not doing an enormous amount of damage, because the quest item thing gets worse. Oh, yeah. I'm really pleased at that possibility. I think the arsonists are still doing a great deal of damage for me. So they get a bump. Pain Offering. We can get the Flame Wall up to 6. That seems pretty good. I think we've got a couple of Tier 1. Yeah, we have a couple of Tier 1 support gems. So that's the Hound. Unearth, we have... No, we don't want that. What do we have on Unearth? Oh, we have Minion Instability. Pain Offering. Persistence. We need more strength. We need another level. And then I think we have access to another stat point. SRS has that. Flammability. Flammability is... Heightened Curse and Spell Cascade. Curse. Heightened curse. Yes, please. How about we drop that? Into flammability. What was the other one on flammability? Spell Cascade. That'll hit a lot more mobs. I think but I only have one more support gem right now. I'll hold on to that for right now. That's thinking, Butch. It's an old guy reference. All right. We're about to start killing things again. Thank you for bearing with me. All right, so we just did the Mastodon Badlands and fought the Ekbab Ancient Steed and the other dude. There was a Shrine of Bones, which evidently we did not find. I'm okay with that. That is back to the Trial of the Sekemas, the City of Seven Waters. Oh, let's go with the Valley of the Titans.
Titans lived and died here. What fate wrought their demise? I take you!
Oh, perfect! We get tornadoes, too! Yeah, that's what we needed. We needed more elemental issues. Environmental issues. More rocks waking up and attacking. Ericath, Cuirass. Dead end. An ancient seal. Find and activate additional ancient seals.
It appears they fought here, died here. A resting place.
And it's another tornado. Sorry, the jumping words doing their shy Hulud impersonation are not impressing. Boom! That's two. I have no idea how many there were supposed to be. More, I guess is the. And those would be the Titans, I'm guessing? Oh, perfect. Nice, easy to dodge tornado in the middle of the really narrow passageway. You boys fight. Oh, that's what they're fighting. It's a rare
Another corpse to serve
jump up
me.
worm thing. Amethyst ring. Ooh, chaos resistance. Maybe I can turn that into something. Not counting on it, but maybe I can turn that into something. I don't know if they're casting the tornadoes or if those are supposed to be like actually occurring behavior. If so, that's going to be a hard one to sell, even an HOA. Another seal. How they do cast them. That one didn't. I probably shouldn't smack talk the undead titans. And they revive the big skeletons. Oh, that's thoughtful. It's nice that they can take care of their friends. Dead ends. ARPG players, we all unanimously agree that we love dead ends on our maps. We just love them to pieces. Pardon me, I've got a bad case of worms. That's another level. Looks like a big room. It's got a waypoint. Let's see. All right, so we finished off that ring. No, we did not. We have one more. 20% increased area of effect, 20% increased cooldown rate from minions. That's freaking good. Ah, this one isn't glowing already. Place the relic in the altar that you found. I don't think that's going to work, is it? Find another relic. Don't tell me that's in the third map. It's probably in the third map. I'm going to assume, right or wrong, that it's there. In Keth. So we go back to more or less town. No, that's... Where the hell's the freaking town now? There it is. Quick. Oh, that's so much fun clicking on the well. It never gets old. Gonna get old me joking about it, though. All right, how about some good stats on our amethyst ring? It's our first amethyst ring. Would be nice to have. Rarity. Maybe the least useful thing next to light. And accuracy. Also completely useless for my class. And I'm really a fan of the fact that they got rid of alterations. Because it used to be what you would do is you'd get an item with an interesting base, like say a chaos resistance ring. And you'd hit alterations over and over and over again, trying to get 2 good affixes. In this case, what you do is you use 2 items, you get crappy affixes, and then you have to get another ring. It's just like alterations, only 50 times slower. No. Yep, the City of 7 Waters. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Mom, are we there yet? We're there. Yes?
The skeleton city of a once great culture. How adorable.
How
Weary traveler has
adorable.
reached the end of the path. Welcome to the City of 7 Waters.
Are there actually 7 waters? Are there 7 waters in-game?
Splinters of bone!
Dead end? Where are you guys going? Come on. You guys stick with Greg. Shadow ribs.
None can oppose me.
I think that said living sand, which is not actually a thing. You can't actually have living sand on account of it's sand. Well, I do have to say that whoever messed up this city looks pretty messed up. Everyone cuts 4 gem, that's nice. Let's see. Ooh, superior. That means we can reduce. We can turn that into quality orbs. Oh, we got a quest item. We got the Kabbalic, and we got the other relic. Presumably there's something else in here other than just the relic. And I don't know that for a fact. It's getting much better now. Crackling. Quarterstaff. If we check the map, here we see that, yeah, we have an abandoned shrine, and we also have the Kabbalah Constrictor Queen and the Lost City. We've got a ways to go here. Then we go back to the Titans and open that up into the Titan Grotto. We have got a unique kind of wand. Which is inherently quite interesting. We're going to back off a little bit here before we take a look at it. Requires 52 intelligence. My intelligence is 63. I'm smirt. It's Life Sprig, which in PoE 1 is really, really good for your second level mage. Grants Mana Drain, +2 to all spell skills. Leeches 1% of maximum life when you cast a spell. Leeches it from me or leeches it from them? It is a really good low-level caster's wand. Not for this build, particularly. It says, according to the chat, it was me saying emerge. But it sounds like emerge. Emerge. A scroll of wisdom and a desert ring. Amethyst ring, another chaos resistance ring. Gee, can we get one as bad as the last one? That will be our chore with this. Is to see if we can get something almost as bad as the last one. Yep, we got Roahide. Not rawhide, Roahide. Smells like a dead end. Stairs. We'd come partway down this way and missed it. Yeah, okay, stairs. A whole lot of gold just laying on the floor. I'm sure it's perfectly safe. It wasn't. Grab the Azure Amulet. Quite the little mini dungeon there. Okay, now. We're close to another level. the mini map, see if things are going. What's that? Is that a checkpoint? It was. Okay. There's the Constrictor Queen. Yeah, between a bunch of raging spirits and a little flammability, she lay down in a big hurry.
How useful. No.
Well, that'll fit. Burn, specialization book. Couple more points. Where are we headed next? I'll check. That's a good question. That's a long ways to go. What do we got over in that direction? Over here we've got more energy shield and stuff, so that's more defense. Probably good to go with that. So we go, and over there, it's more minion stuff, so yeah, that makes sense. All right, up and so up and down, probably. We needed more strength. Currently, we are at 17, so we'll probably get 1 note each for strength and dex to try and keep those numbers up so that we can use support gems and whatnot. One more quick check. That goes down there into like this area. Minions, more life and revive faster. Yeah, okay, so we'll go over strength for that one and dex for that one. And have we finished off this map? We have. We found the abandoned shrine and Kabbalah Constrictor Queen, but it looks like there is another location in here, though, somewhere. Stairs. Is this another little mini dungeon, or is this the pass? This is the looted vault. Huh? Nothing remains. Yeah, a number of people have this talked about. This is how loot feels in the game, with screenshots of looted vault. Nothing remains. Why do you put this in except to troll your players? Really? To make them mad about the paucity of loot. That level I was just mentioning. A hooded mask. Oh. I don't want to keep those. Not sure why I picked those up. Sometimes I don't think I picked them up. Sometimes I think they just hopped in on their own inventory. That doesn't seem likely, but I'm sure that that's what's happening. Okay, you know what? Now that's a yellow. We're not losing. They both have a socket. Either way, potato, potato. It doesn't look like there's actually... Oh, yep, there might be a way through. Over there. Since it looks like there is a path through, I don't want to miss the path and have to fight my way through the entire map again. Come on, Greg. Keep up. It's down here. I did that exactly correctly. Go me.
The once verdant city is still mostly intact, but overwhelmed with sand. Pretty.
Let's see, that's minions have increased life. Oh, yes, please. And then there, minions have 15% increased maximum life, and they revive 15% faster. Yes, please. Currently, that's where the caravan is. What is over there? Buried shrines. So I'm going to head back to there. Empty out the inventory. We'll head back and drop the second piece of the puzzle. Second magical relic in and see what's on the other side in the Valley of the Titans. That's probably where I will end up. But hey, you know, I've got the solution. And 9 items identified.
Careful story.
Okay. A little bit of life, 2 decent resists, and accuracy. Don't want to give up the minion skills, but I think I'll save that for a possible another build in the future. I don't know why I was keeping that one, but I was. That has nothing I particularly want. We're currently selling, so the selling stuff we can just, you know, sell. Disappointing. Sell. Flask charges used. The thorns damage can take a flying fuck. Pardon my French. By the way, not actually French. Take a flying fook. And then we want to disenchant the crappy yellows. Oh, that one I'm keeping for later. That one, I think I probably want the Regal Shard more than I want the armor thingy shards. The socketing shards. Adds, let's see, 3 to 5 physical, attack speed, life, and mana gain.
I will tell your tale.
She'll tell my tale, guys. I think she's hitting on me. I'll save that for another build time. That one for another build another time. This one needs to get salvaged. Socket.
Probably shouldn't do that here.
Artificers. That goes in. Lifesprig shouldn't go there. It's supposed to go into the unique tabs. Are you so lame?
What?
Zarka. That one. Disenchant that.
Young one.
The Regal Shard. We've got an uncut support gem. A couple of those. We have another tier 7 gem. We have 2 tier 7 gems. Let's see if there's anything else we can dump on that. I bet there is. Elemental. We have Flame Wall at 6. We just bumped that up to 6. That's fine. We use Unearth a lot. We'll upgrade that one. And let's see. Bone Storm to 7, maybe? Yep. Sure. Alright, we're now going to make sure... Hey, here's the fun. Woo! We refilled our well. It's just the most fun you can have with your clothes on. Back to the Valley of the Titans, where we will drop in the second of the relics. %30 increased charm charges gained, 15%. Oh, I guess it doesn't open up anything. It is just a buff. Increased mana recovery from flasks and 30% increased charm charges. I assume that's it. There's supposed to be a Titan Grotto in here somewhere too, which means we didn't find that. I was assuming that was going to open up the pathway to the Titan Grotto. Oh, I have to click 1. Thank you. Thank you very much. I see. Charm charges gained or mana recovery from flasks. Also thought you just got both of those things. But yeah, okay, no. They couldn't do that. I still only have 1 charm, but I think in the long term that one's probably better. Oh, but you can change them. That's interesting. You can change them dynamically. Oh no, I guess you can't. Yeah, you can, apparently you can just... If you want to make the trip back, you can change them. Is that correct? Because that seems really weird. What? Wait, what? Okay, there it is. That's an unusual one. Well, I thought that was going to open up the Valley of the Titans to the Titan Grotto. Which I guess means that one, the Buried Shrines, and this one is actually what we need before we can head off to the third thing. Well, we've got, yeah, there's the cavern, the caravan. The Lost City. Right, okay, we found that, so something is in the Buried Shrines there, and the Titan Grotto is there, and we need that before we can open up. Now we've finished that one. Or we can open up... Nope, not that one. Done that one. Did the Bone Pits. Got all that one. No, there's also something there. Got that one. I'm a little confused. Alright, so we still have to enter the Titan Grotto and the Lost City. Alright, well, let's see if we can find the Titan Grotto. You'll note that everything in the map has respawned. We love that. Greg to the rescue. Live blue. Oh, he's dead. Yeah, it was dead. So since we know that we're looking specifically for, that could be it there. grotto at the clasped entry. This is where we came in. Awesome. Maps this big, when you can move so slow, are so not fun. They're just excruciating. I'm going to try to go back a bit and then see if we can get into the middle of the empty area. Discovered area. My assumption was, as most of the time, it's somewhere the exit or entrance to the next map is around the outside, but that's not always the case, because, as we've said in the past, because fuck you, that's why. Not say things are going in exactly the optimal fashion. What is that icon right there? Did I miss something over here? Why has this got a special... I guess that's going to light up at some point when I find the last of the glowy things to click. Well, these sort of little tricks and complications and stuff, they only add something the first time, you know? If it's no longer a surprise or a puzzle, it's not going to be fun. It's just going to be frustrating. Scouring every inch of an enormous map isn't fun. It's just tedious. And all of my guys got lost. So they respawned. Come on, Greg, you're supposed to keep them following. What's wrong with you? Oh, you're a loyal doggy. Come on, you got a job to do, too.
To serve me.
Let him see beyond his endless rage. What? I'm going to assume we go back to the place where we saw the weird icon on the mini-map, which is over here. Having cleared out the entire ludicrously large map. Nope, we still don't have anything happening here. If it's supposed to be happening, and it's got a little map icon, so I assume it's supposed to be happening. I only see one obvious place where we're missing something. This is just nonsense. This is horse shit. This is a developer touching himself as he imagines how frustrating it's going to be for the players. This is adversarial design. I have to re-hit all of the seals from the last time I was here. Wow. Wow, is that terrible fucking design. Oh my god. That is embarrassingly. Because I left this map and the map recycled. I knew there'd be critters back, that all the critters would be back. But I have to hit the seals again. Working as intended. Thank you, D. You put a smile on my face. You make me want to cry, but you put a smile on my face. So that's good. Let him see beyond his endless rage. Yes. Are you talking about me and my endless rage, designers? Because It's getting up there. Oh, wait. We've got another... Nope, that's just a dead end. That's not going anywhere. All right, we got a seal up there. Might be one down here. That seems to be the last of the dead ends. Oh my god. All the way back over here. Oh, nope, here he comes, finally. Nope, not a he. The doorway. All right, it finally opened. Adversarial. Players
This was certainly off limits to mortals.
are the enemy.
How exciting.
And on that note, before I actually pop an aneurysm on stream... Of course, I'm kidding. I'm going to call it an evening. I want to thank you guys very, very much for hanging out. I'm very appreciative. Thank you very much. Especially given my not always positive approach to things. On the positive side, I did get the Ascendancy done. I'm going to try to have a good evening. I did get the Ascendancy done, and that was my big... what I was afraid was going to be the worst thing for me tonight. But no, it wasn't that bad. It's stressful, but fine. But then I have an actual build now instead of following suggestions from the guide, the in-game guide. So, thanks guys very much for hanging out. I should be back tomorrow at the usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Middle of the night in Europe, morning in Asia, Australia, and New Zealand. With more cheerful streaming. Probably back here at this, unless it enrages me later tonight. I hope the rest of your Friday evening goes great. I hope your weekend kicks ass. In fact, I require your weekend to kick ass. I expect full reports on my desk first thing Monday morning. So you can do those Sunday night after your weekend kicks ass. Back tomorrow. Have a great rest of your evening. Take care, and ciao for now. Good night, guys.